Okay po, para bago mo sagutin yun, ito meron tayong text, 0933-947-4769. The only reason my federal governments like the US and Germany do not fragment and balkanize is because there is no country on earth who is working actively towards fragmentizing and balkanizing them. However, in the case of the Philippines, the US, Europe, Japan, Australia, Canada, Turkey, Britain, and Malaysia are all actively seeking the fragmentation and balkanization of the Philippines. Therefore, if we convert to the federal system, it will be easier for these countries to fragmentize and balkanize our poor, beloved country. Why make it easy for them? I think it's a kind of a valid point.
Yeah.
But you have to recognize something, that ever since 9/11, the one thing that has gone there is that America waived
Yes.
all sense of sovereignty. If I think there is an enemy in your place, I will go after them whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Which is what is happening in the Middle East. Through their drones, they
Yeah.
start killing a lot of people. And the second thing is, where is the rule of law there? You know, America used to stand for the idea, innocent until proven guilty. But now it has become, they are the police, the judge, and the jury.
Yeah.
There is no more sense of justice that is prevailing. It is simply expediency. Nandiyan ka, I think you're a threat, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
So, the whole ethical framework of world government and national sovereignty has undergone a tremendous flip-flop.
Yeah.
And so, dito ngayon nakikita natin that it's very hard to say and to uphold your moral ascendancy if you resort to all this violence and shortcuts
Yeah.
in trying to enforce what you think is for your own good, because you don't want the war in America. They got really scared of 9/11. I'd rather bring the war to your country. Which is what is the example of this Mama Sapano. I know the American ambassador has claimed that they were not involved. But my goodness, the videos that are coming out show some Americans involved there. And Napones, Napeñas and the others have testified they were there in Zamboanga, observing and, quote, helping extract or providing medical assistance.
Yes.
Diba?
Yeah.
I cannot understand, of course, why that statement from the ambassador came out in the face of all these videos and evidence of their involvement.
Maybe what they are trying to say maybe is that they are not involved in the actual operation.
In the actual fighting or in the planning of the operation.
Yeah.
But
Planning,
I cannot,
maybe, yes,
I
but
cannot see that.
Sharing intelligence.
No, but I cannot see that when one general testified and said that an American was telling him to cannon and fire the artillery. But the general refused and said, I'm the commander here, not you. Okay? So, yun na lumabas din sa dyaryo. Ewan kung paano nilang tataguan. Di ba? But to go back to the issue that is before us here, Ronald, the issue is, if you think that the BBL in its present form will not be able to serve its purpose, have you, in terms of the Lumans and the Tirurais, come up with a list of proposed amendments that is in writing that can then be looked at and studied among all other amendments that other parts of this nation want to see? People have asked me, Ray, ikaw naman against ka sa BBL in its present form. You know, it's either we exist under the rule of law and respect our Constitution or we don't. Now, the problem here is it's not in the interest of any of the foreign nations to see our Constitution respected, so long as they can get their objective. Now, so the big question here now is this, no? If the BBL is passed, and I remember what was the problem in the North Cotabato case that the Supreme Court ruled upon. The issue there is that the people, this autonomous region, quote, if you can call it that, or this asymmetrical state relationship, will enable that region to go into a treaty or agreement with any nation, provided there is a non-invasive clause in favor of the country. what does that mean? And that means, if I have that clause that is non-invasive, I will be able to put armaments and weapons in a treaty with that part, and the nation cannot object. Di ba?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of the BBL, no, you're saying that the BBL at its present form may not serve its purpose.
Hindi ko malaman. Alam
Yeah.
mo kung bakit?
Yes.
Marami nagsasabi sa akin, Brother Ray, pagka pumasaya ang BBL, gera. Pag hindi pumasaya, gera din. Eh, saan mo lalagay yung sarili mo?
Pero ako, ang pananaw ko naman, Ray, is that at least the BBL can serve as a framework or a roadmap towards addressing the peace problem in Mindanao, rather than uphold or stay with the status quo, wherein it can only assure certain thing, which is destruction, because certainly there will be war.
Well,
So, but the BBL you can gamble with the BBL because it speaks about the hope for peace. So yun ang pananaw ko.
Pero ang nanam doon sometimes the devil is in the details.
Of course,
Okay,
kahit
we can all talk of peace, but is it a just peace? Is it an honorable peace? Or are we just simply giving away the house?
but we cannot speak. There's a saying that the taste of the pudding is in the eating. So hindi natin masabi ngayon yan kasi later on kung
Tama ka.
kung ma-implement siguro yan. At saka kung ang aking posisyon din dito, Ray, is that if we can give an effective BBL, provided it is within the bounds of the Constitution, then
Yun
it
ang
might,
operative term,
yes,
do.
it might,
Ronald, it's
it might
within the
win
bounds of the Constitution.
within the bounds of the
I am not
Constitution.
against BBL, provided it is well-founded constitutionally.
Precisely. And I think Congress is doing that.
Let's hope so.
I have full trust also in Congress since I was once a member that they're crafting
Biased source.
walang pabor-pabor. Pero there are a lot of brilliant people in Congress, both the lower house and they will not pass a law which will run counter
Or we will
with
just
the Constitution.
burned by the Supreme Court.
Oh, precisely. And that's
Eh, napapahiya sila.
that's a waste of time and waste of money.
Okay, pero
So,
the political pressure is on.
Oo.
From 0917-410-6109, Mr. Rosa, kapag kayo ba ang nagkamali, magsosorry po ba kayo dahil pilit kayong pinagsosorry ng iba? Di ba that will defeat the sincerity and spirit of the true apology?
Okay, yeah.
Besides, baka magamit pa kontra kay Pinoy yung pagbaba niya sa poder. A trap. Let me put it this way. This is how I want to answer that. No? Any insincere statement is not worth the words or the paper on which it is written.
Yeah.
If I will apologize to you for the sake of public appearance, I am being insincere.
Yes.
Now, having said that, I will have to say this. There are some people that have great difficulty apologizing, but in their hearts, they are deeply sorry.
Yes.
Now, kailangan siguro natin tingnan ito in terms of pagkatao ng Pangulo.
Yeah.
There are certain things he can do, and there are certain things that are extremely difficult for him to do. But does that mean he's not sorry? That is not so. Okay, you might accuse him of great pride. You can accuse him of all other things. But I am just simply trying to say, whether he apologizes or not is not the issue. I want to declare to you a principle. Forgiveness is not a matter of the sorrow of the one who has offended you. If you want to take a look at the scriptural origins of forgiveness, it is summarized in one statement in Scripture that says that God loved us while we were yet sinners. And that means bago pa tayo nagsisi, minahal na tayo ng Panginoon. In other words, yun ang klase ng pagmamahal na minsan napakahirap.
Yeah.
Kasi dito, ang konsepto natin, bago kita patawarin. Magsisit, magdusa ka muna. Now, that is really trying to extract some kind of revenge on the person na hindi mo lang kayang hagupitin, kanya sinasabi mo, mag-sorry na lang, okay na, pagbigyan ka na lang. And I'm saying that the issue is larger than that. Yeah. This was a national security operation. And whatever the Board of Inquiry says, there is nothing which limits the President from undertaking sub rosa activities in the name of national security. Now, there are always risks there. Kanya lang ang nangyari dito, napakadami ng namatay. While that is so sorrowful and hurtful to accept, this is not something that the President is obliged to apologize for. National security operations carry great risk.
Precisely.
And nobody can guarantee that it will work. Were there failures of judgment? Probably. Sinong tao mong pinili, sinong tao mong pinagkatiwalaan, pero kanya nangyayari yan kasi siya ang presidente.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's all I wanted to say about that because hindi naman natin pwedeng paghatulan yung puso ng tao. Hindi mo alam eh.
Sa akin, the important thing also is that the President made a statement accepting the responsibility. Yeah. And to say sorry, that would be voluntary in his part.
Hindi mo pwedeng pilitin
kasi
yun.
kung pinilit mo yan, sabi mo nga, fake na yun, so it defeat the purpose. Mas maganda yung galing sa loob niya. At saka kung ako ang presidente, I don't want also to say sorry if I'm being forced to do so. It has to be, it comes from the heart. It comes from within. Pero sa tingin na siguro, the problem will never be solved if he's sorry.
Kasi pagka siya, katulad ng sinabi mo, pagka nag-apologize siya and access that, baka lato siyang batikusin.
Yes, Kaya
diba?
tama rin si Senator Trillanes, so baka trap yan. So, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
One of those difficult situations that comes with any presidency.
Yes, of course.
0907-557-2949 from Rodel Dorado, Rizal, Palawan. Magandang gabi, Heartbeat Live. Bakit sobrang special yata ang BBL? Bakit masyado silang kinatatakutan? Islam is for peace naman.
Aha.
Well, talk to the people in the Middle East and ask them why there is no peace in the Middle East.
Siguro, yung takot siguro sila sa BBL because of the powers that will be devolved or to be given at baka maabuso to, lalo na yung mga settlers, migrant settlers outside of the autonomous region or the Bangsamoro. Ang fear nila siguro baka gagamitin yan
para palawakin ang kanilang lugar.
Laban sa kanila later on. So, it can be that way.
0917-410-6909. Would you know or understand what the warning of former President Ramos meant in case the peace process in Mindanao fails? I wonder. Let me put it this way. I think, but you are free to express your opinion.
Yes.
I think President Ramos is simply saying, let us not abandon totally the peace process just because we don't like the BBL.
Yeah.
In other words, the pursuit of peace can sometimes be a very long and painful road.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
And even if we don't like the BBL, let's try to come up with an acceptable, constitutionally viable form of the BBL.
Yeah.
That ensures the protection not just of the Christians, but also the Muslims, but also the terrorized, but also the Lumads,
the inhabitants.
that they will continue to enjoy the basic human rights and civil liberties and rights and the essential democratic processes.
Yes.
So dito, kung lalaban tayo para mabago yung BBL, it's not because we're simply trying to get something on protection. We are also trying to protect the little Muslim that is in Muslim Mindanao.
So we're trying to say here, Ray, is that we have to come up with a meaningful BBL, which is inclusive to all sectors, the cross-section of our
Even
society.
For the little Muslim.
Irrespective of religion, irrespective of culture, irrespective of where you come from. provided that ito ay beneficial sa lahat. Okay? Of course, yung leadership siguro later on, hindi natin po pwedeng ku-questionin yan because bangsamoro yan, palaging ang mananalo dyan Muslims. After all, ito yung political settlement na gusto nila. Pero when it comes to the benefits in general, it should be applicable to everyone.
Everybody. And this is what we have to preserve. Okay, it says here is one text, 0936-125-2067. From Abdullah Akajadha from Marawi City. Muslim ako pero hindi ako sang-ayon sa BBL kasi Christian din ang asawa ko. At mahirap tanggapin na magkakaroon ng kaguluhan sa buong Mindanao dahil lang sa BBL na yan. Yes, of course, I am a Muslim, but I don't want trouble with Christians because we are one big Filipino family. Not all Muslims are in favor of BBL. Scratch the BBL right now dahil ito ang simula ng malaking kaguluhan sa Mindanao at sa buong Pilipinas. Well, this is an opinion aired by another Muslim,
yes,
but we will comment on that. But we will have to pause for a few reminders. Babalik po kami, huwag kayong mawawala.